All right. You ready for me?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and take a look at the chair for me.
Okay. Chair.
There we go. Okay. Perfect.
And a couple more questions for you here. You have this very interesting video on YouTube, riding on the back of a truck playing guitar in the wind.
Yeah, that truck's right over there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can you explain the inspiration behind that video? What made you want to do that?
I am constantly on the lookout for how I can use the guitar to create sounds that haven't been heard before. From that day, if anybody listens to track number 8 of the River Suite, that's throughout the whole song. And I knew I had already done some experimenting in Eastern Oregon, which is a pretty windy place, a few years ago, on tuning the guitar to an open tuning sound. So it's like just think of it just a beautiful harmonic chord. And then I experimented with this concept of putting the guitar into the wind. Actually, I did this a long time ago with a classical guitar, but I didn't really do anything with it. But I've also done this, in fact, if you can look on my website, I've also done it with water. I've built 2 guitars that I just call water guitars. I brought one with me. And I did some sampling in the Big Sur River on the way up here. I'm creating a library of sounds of each individual note on the wind guitar and on the water guitar so that I can access them through my computer using Logic. But it could be, any program. It's just the samples. In other words, I'll take the samples, chop them up, smooth them, tune them so that they're, they fit into Western, diatonic harmony. And then, this is what I want to do on my next record. I want to feature those sounds. The water guitar and the wind guitar.
Do you have any other ideas for experiments like that we can look forward to?
Yeah, I've done quite a bit of experimenting. In fact, this is also on the River record, but it's more subtle. I do quite a bit of bowing on the instrument using a bicycle inner tube. And I forget which track it's on specifically, but it's when people are listening, when you hear something that sounds like a string quartet, that's the bowing. So it's multiple, layers of bowed sounds. And it works great. Another thing that works really great is to hook up a really soft brush onto the end of a cable. I have an extension of my drill. It's flexible. It's like we'd call it snake or something. But I can lock in a brush down here so it spins, and you hold the drill motor over here. Usually takes 2 people to do this, and put those across the strings. And so here's what I was trying to do, is I was trying to figure out a way to make the guitar sustain infinitely. Now there's a product called an e-bow, and it's an electromagnet that you hold in your hand, but you can only do 1 string at a time. With the bowing, I can do all 6, or I can do any combination I want.
A couple more questions here. So, you make music, people listen to this music. What are some of the songs, or maybe one song in particular, that people that resonates with people the most? If there's one or maybe a few, what record of yours resonate with people the most, and why do you think that is?
Well, that's a pretty easy one to answer because I did 2 solo guitar projects of just Beatles tunes, and since that catalog is so well known, those were my best. Especially the first one was the best money-making product I ever did, and I guess it was primarily Blackbird. I think was the main listening one because I did a different type of arrangement on it. It's not like a Chet Atkins style playing or anything like that. I see my background's a little bit more jazzy than most finger picking guitar players. So,
what about your own recordings? Has there been has there been someone that has come up to you maybe after a show and they've expressed to you, when you played this record or these few records, that resonated with me the most?
There is one song in particular I've played in public, especially at memorials, but not just, sad occasions. It's called On Winter and Holding. And I played it the other day, actually, at an interview. And it's just one of those tunes that just really connects with people. It's slow and soft, but it has a very good melody, I feel. And so it really connects with people. Everybody responds to that tune.
Last question here, Don.
Yeah.
Where do you get inspiration from to create your music? I mean, you're a teacher, you see a lot of different people, you help people get to that level of proficiency, you have your own thing. Where do you get inspiration from to create your music?
Well, that's an interesting question, because I never feel like, how do we say this? I mean, I've been doing this so long, it's not so much a matter of inspiration, because I know the well has not run dry. It's like when I want to write music, or when I have the time, that's the primary thing I would like to say is what is most inspiring? Well, the most inspiring is certainly just being out like this, and then having time. When I want to write music, I can do it. It's not like I have to be inspired. I mean, it's nice to have a goal. Now, that to me is inspiring. And now working with the label, it's like, okay, now I've got a reason. I'll write some more music. In fact, I already have a lot of music that's not recorded. I mean, I was on this trip, one of my goals was just go back and listen to all of the ideas you've recorded video-wise on your phone. Sort them out. If they're not good, hit the delete button. But there's like 40 or 50 ideas on the phone. So there's a ton of stuff. It's always more fun to just start and write something from scratch. Like, oh, I don't want to go back and work on that. Another one of my goals on this trip is to actually transcribe the music I played on the River project. Well, I already know all the songs except for the first one, which is 31 minutes long. Because it's primarily an improvised piece. I would sit in the back of my home here, and each night, lots of hours of darkness, and just play. And I have a really nice recording system with me, and edit and say, well, and then react to what you just played. Here's something kind of interesting. What would go with that? And there's themes on there that I keep thinking, some of those themes would be really cool to develop more and to make standalone tunes out of that, instead of being a 45-second or 1.5 minute, expose of that theme. Let's go somewhere else with it.
Perfect. All right.
Good.
That is it. That's
Okay.
all I got for you.
All right. Thanks.